your passion by taking action every day. Take great joy in doing a great job. Focus on the solution, not on the problem. Handle pressure by learning not to dwell on negative thoughts and opinions of others. Learn from mistakes, but do not let them take you down. Be mentally tough and never give up. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. Chapter 3. Basic Instincts. I really believe that if you are good and you are smart, you can go with your gut. You need to go against the tide. In some of the best deals I have made, I went against what everybody else believed. My actions were very counterintuitive. For my first 5 years in business, I was buying and renovating houses in Brooklyn and Queens with my dad. But I decided I wanted to get involved in Manhattan real estate development because to me, Manhattan was the big time. My father, though he was very successful, never did anything in Manhattan. Everybody told me not to go to Manhattan. I would never make it there. I did not have any money, but I was starting to do well in Brooklyn and Queens. The problem was I did not know anybody in Manhattan. In the summer of 1973, the Penn Central Railroad filed for bankruptcy. Among the assets were abandoned yards in the West 60s and the West 30s. I had seen Penn Central's 100 acres of undeveloped riverfront property in Manhattan many times, and had always thought that it had a lot of potential. But at that time, a lot of neighborhoods on the West Side were considered dangerous places to live because of drug dealers and welfare hotels. However, I could see how that could easily be changed. There were magnificent old brownstones on West 84th Street, just a few blocks from Central Park. I was convinced that it was only a matter of time before other people discovered the property's value. People said I would never be able to pull it off and develop the land. Nobody in his or her right mind was interested in that property. The city was in trouble, and things were bad for developers. Among other problems, very few permits were being issued for new buildings. But I pressed on anyway, because I felt in my gut that this was going to be big, and after all, what did I have to lose by trying? I met with the man in charge of selling off the assets of the railroad. I sold him on the deal. I worked on getting zoning approvals, fought the community board, and went before the City Planning Commission and the Board of Estimate. The rest is history. In the meantime, I had started renovating the Commodore Hotel into the Grand Hyatt. These two projects gave me a much-needed track record. On July 29, 1974, I acquired options to purchase the two waterfront properties from the Penn Central Railroad, West 59th Street to West 72nd Street and West 34th Street to West 39th Street for $62 million, with no money down. All because I went with my gut and did not quit. Another deal was 40 Wall Street, which for a period of about a year before the Chrysler Building and the Empire State Building were built in 1931, was the tallest building in the world. Then it was the tallest building in downtown Manhattan until the World Trade Center was completed in 1972. But I'm sad to say, since the World Trade Center went down, the 72-story 40 Wall Street building is again the tallest building in downtown Manhattan. It was 1993, and the market was horrible. I was not exactly doing great financially. I should not have been buying anything, because I was in trouble. But I bought the building at 40 Wall Street for $1 million. I just recently turned down a $535 million offer for it. That's pretty amazing. I took a risk, and it wasn't easy. Frankly, putting up $1 million in those days was very hard for me. I still had to carry the costs of the building. I still had to fix the building. That was a lot of money. Times were bad. Believe it or not, I had a hard time coming up with $1 million to buy the building. That's sad. If you can't get together $1 million to buy a building, you have some pretty big problems. I was hard up. I went to 4 or 5 of the smartest real estate guys in New York, and I asked them to come in as partners with me on the deal. They wouldn't touch it. They said it was a loser. I also had major real estate firms turn me down. I said, let's go 50-50. I'll put up $500,000. It was peanuts to them, but they all turned me down. One guy said, it's a money pit. It was a money pit. I made a lot of money with it. 2 of the real estate guys I tried to partner with told me it was the worst deal they never made. If they had had the instincts to go against the tide and put up $500,000, they would have made $270 million or even more. The one person who loved the deal was a brilliant real estate man named Jerry Spire of Tishman Spire. Nobody else. In spite of what everybody said, I was really sold on 40 Wall Street. It was a 72-story building, a total of 1.3 million square feet. I could break even if I only rented out the retail store on Wall Street. How could I lose? But there was a dark mood around properties in downtown Manhattan, and few could see the value of the building. So I went with my gut and put up the $1 million myself, and the risk paid off. I like to go against the tide. I feel it's important to go against the tide, to go with your gut, if you think you have that talent. But it was an even better deal than that. I actually got this property for nothing. I challenged the real estate tax assessment on the property and was able to get a $4 million tax reduction. I settled with the city for more money than I had paid for the building. Then I got money back from tax refunds, so I bought the building for less than nothing, and today it makes a fortune. It went from 100% empty to 100% full very quickly. But you have to know what you're doing. You have to have confidence in yourself, and confidence to know that what you are doing is right. You will have your biggest successes when you go against the tide. Many people get consultants and pay them a lot of money. That's a waste of time and money. By the time the consultant comes back with the report, the deal is dead, or it has gone to someone else. And in any event, you should not be in a business where you need to rely on consultants. Know your business inside and out. Get all the facts, ask people their opinions, and then go with your gut. We all have instincts. The important thing is to know how to use them. You may have superb academic credentials, but if you don't use your instincts, you might have a hard time getting to and staying at the top. Too many people have stopped trusting their instincts. They cut off a natural sense that we are all born with. Nobody can explain exactly why or how instinct works. Sometimes we get a gut feeling about what we should or should not do, although we can't put a finger on the exact reasons. Most successful business people know they have good instincts and rely on them for making brilliant decisions, but rarely understand how it works. Scientists think that our brains pick up on and somehow perceive the underlying patterns in our daily activities. Then, when we are facing a new situation, we can predict the result because we have seen similar patterns before. I've gotten so used to making deals that I am keenly aware of every nuance of every stage of deal-making. I know when someone is stalling for time, or is not really serious, and is just wasting my time. I know when somebody is lying, and I can pick up the telltale signs that something is not right about a deal, because it is just too good to be true. I know when my opponent is weak, and I should go in for the kill. Scientists also say that there are nerve cells in the gut that are connected to the intuitive part of the brain. When something is wrong or right, I actually feel it in my gut. For example, within a few seconds of meeting Mark Burnett, the creator of The Apprentice, I realized that I had a very positive gut feeling about him, and that I would feel comfortable working with him. Somehow I knew he was 100% solid, both as a person and as a professional. I made my deal with Mark Burnett that very day, without anything but a gut feeling and a solid handshake. On the other hand, I have met people that, for no particular reason, I did not like. I have learned from experience to trust my gut and be wary of those people. One day, I got a call that CBS wanted to use the Woolman skating rink, a great place I built and run in Central Park. They wanted to hold a live Survivor finale there. I was not sure that was a good idea, because it might rain. Then what would we do? If it rains, I would look like an idiot. My hair would be all screwed up. But at least everyone would see it is real. A major newspaper recently ran a great article about me saying, "Trump is brilliant, he's wonderful, he's amazing, but his hairpiece is terrible." It said I wore a hairpiece. Think of it, I had an article in a major newspaper which was a 10, except it said I wear a hairpiece. What a way to ruin an otherwise beautiful article. I couldn't even send it to anyone. I said okay, and Survivor used the Woolman skating rink for their finale. Mark Burnett, who I had never met before, was there. I knew he did Survivor. We met and talked, and it was quite amazing. I respected him right away. The set the Survivor crew built in the Woolman rink was a jungle that overlooked Manhattan. It was beautiful, and they did a great job. Mark Burnett said to me, "Donald, Mr. Trump, I'd like to have a meeting with you. I have an idea." "What's the idea?" I asked. "I want to do a show with you." I said, "Well, everybody wants to do a show with me." But other people wanted me to do one of those reality shows where a camera crew follows you. That would not work. I can't have cameras filming me while I'm working. I can't have that. So I had turned down many other offers from virtually every other network. Burnett came to my office the next day and pitched me the show. He told me about the format of The Apprentice, and I said, "That's good."